What's up, guys? I'm Jesse.
I'm Daisy.
We're Spartan Overland. And today, we're talking about the open-road, off-road, portable water heater.
This is that other part we told y'all about, so the water's not so ooh.
Which, it's summertime.
The ooh would be pleasant.
Yeah. But, it's not going to be summertime forever. So, let's go over what's in this and then hook it up and see how it does.
I'm not testing it.
Yeah, you are.
No, I think it's gonna be you. We'll get the boys out here.
Hey, here. I'll take the mic here, and you can point at some things.
Wow, was I having too much fun with that?
No, I think it's just my turn. It's my turn with the mic. It's my turn to speak into the microphone. First, we've got the heater itself. We've got, obviously, your instruction manual.
What's this do?
That's a heat shield. So when it is vertical, you want the heat, because it's essentially, it's a propane heater.
Okay. All right.
Right, so this helps deflect the heat.
Very cool.
What was your question?
If it's propane, why do we have these big mamma jammas?
Those D-cell batteries are for the igniter. It has to have something to make a little spark to ignite the fire. We've got an instruction manual.
Okay.
Now, I'll be fully transparent here. The instruction manual, not that great. People use these obviously for overlanding, but most people use these in more permanent setups, like in an RV.
So the instructions are going to vary because of your use.
Maybe even like tiny home situations so that's what some of this hardware is for, is so that you can mount this to a wall.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that next thing is there's some hardware.
Adorable. This is the cutest little thing.
Not to be confused with our microphone.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
You've got a mount for the shower head.
This doesn't feel sturdy. I mean, we're not going to use it, and I'm sure, depending on the application, it would get the job done. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but it doesn't feel sturdy.
It's plastic.
I know, but like some plastic feels sturdier than other plastic. For instance, that fan that we've had mounted to our wall for years, that plastic feels reliable. This feels very thin.
You guys heard it here first. Not all plastics are the same. All right, we've got a couple of S-hooks for temporary hanging, which is what we're probably going to use.
What we'll do, yeah.
Then next you've got the hose to your propane tank.
It's all about the hose.
When we go on an overland trip, could it be said that we have hose in different area codes?
Yes. Okay, sorry. Back to the.
And now, then we've got lastly our shower head, which is like your adjustable shower that you might use in your house. This is also identical to the one that came with the tank. It just has a fancy little metal sleeve on it. Now, that is what comes in the box. I purchased a handful of other adapters that I'm going to show you next for how we're going to use this to make it as efficient for us.
To be clear, it's not something that had to be purchased to make this function. It's something that had to be purchased to make it function the way that we want it to for our application.
Specifically, the water tank, if you watched the last video, the water tank's port is at the back of the bed, and the shower awning is over the front of the cab. It's a long way. So our goal was to create an adapter system that would allow us to run it from the back to the cab. And that looks a little bit like this. All right, so this is what we've got. The big thing is I bought a cheapo little water hose and a whole gang of adapters.
That is
adapters on adapters.
You did a thing here. Go ahead, tell us about it.
Yeah, so if you remember from the other video, the water tank has that quick detach. So I kept that on there, and I got a matching quick detach adapter with a 90-degree bracket for this side of the water hose, so I could plug that into the tank. And then I have a couple of adapters here to put the other male side on the bottom of the water heater. And that will live there, so then we can pull this out of the box,
Doink.
quick snap everything in, and be good to go.
Wash your butt.
Wash your butt. Now, something important to note. This is very dependent on water pressure. If it's not getting enough pressure through it, if the gallons per minute isn't enough, it will not turn on the igniter. And if you do like we did and you've added this much water hose, that distributes all of the pressure from the tank through this, which will greatly lower your pressure.
So once you've hooked up all the stuff, it's probably a good idea to repressurize the tank to fill up all those gaps that have now developed.
100%. Full disclosure, I tested this before we shot to make sure it worked, and it didn't. And I was like emailing OpenRoad back and forth. I'm like, hey guys, this don't work. And they were like, hey dummy, you gotta have enough pressure.
They were right.
So, but now we're gonna hook it all up. We're gonna pressurize it, and we're gonna test it out. All right, guys, now when we get to this part, hooking up the water in and out and the gas, this is important. These are labeled wrong in the instruction manual. So the easy thing to remember is that all of the water fittings are gonna be this, I don't know, I guess that's copper. The gas, so you should have gas, water out, water in. My adapter. All right, so now we have to pressurize this. And this is a little something we picked up to make that easier. When we're on the trail, if we need to pressurize this, maybe we've been using it a lot or we just topped it back off, whatever. It's kind of a pain to get our compressor, the air up and down kit for the tires and do this that way. So all of our stuff's already cobalt. So I picked up this little portable compressor. I would not try to use this to air up 35s. But for this, it's perfect. It's small, portable, lightweight, and I can set the PSI. So I can top this off, or if Daisy's taking a shower, it's looking like maybe she's gonna take a long shower, I can set this for 35 PSI and it'll just keep running while she's trying to shower because she's gonna be using pressure while it's topping it back off. So let's get this tank pressurized. Now, before I press start on this is important, is make sure we open this valve so that we're filling this hose with water and pressure. Now it's time to test it. A couple of things we've got on the face here. We have summer and winter settings. This is more for if you have this in a permanent mounting situation. Summertime, turns it all the way off. wintertime, I believe, keeps it just a little bit warm to keep these pipes inside of it from freezing. Then we've got fire control and water control. This is how much of a flame, how hot it's gonna get. This is, I believe, this opens up to let more water through. So like, if low on fire is too hot, you could treat them just like hot and cold, and you tap at the house. Moment of truth, let's see how it goes. We'll make sure our switch is on down here. We're gonna click this to the middle. So now, in theory, once we click this through, we should hear this igniter kick on, and then our water should get hot.
Oh, I heard it.
Heard it. It's like hot water.
Oh.
Yeah. Feel it.
Feel it, feel it.
Feel it.
Oh, that's warm.
Let's see, let's set it on its like lowest setting and see how that feels. Cause like you don't
it
want
cooled
it to,
off. Yeah, that.
yeah,
I
you
can
don't
feel
want
that
it to
difference.
be like uncomfortably hot, right? The little gauge says that's 108 degrees. On the flip side, like you turn it all
Crank
the
it
way
all
up.
the way.
Yeah, that's like,
Much warmer.
that's a hot shower.
Sweet.
That's one of those that people make memes about, where it's like you get out with red skin. Yeah, I think this is cool. And like I said, you know, if we click that button over there, it would maintain our pressure. That would allow us, while it's a noisy shower, it would allow us to run this much longer. I think this is a win. And hold on. I think this is a win, and I can't wait until winter time and the fall when we're camping the most, and we can actually take a nice hot shower. It's going to be a game changer, I think. Well, guys, that's pretty much a wrap. For more than one reason, you know, the install's done, but it's, I think the thermometer, let me check my Garmin. Yeah, 2,000 degrees out here in North Carolina.
Gosh, it feels that way.
And 2,000% humidity. That math is odd, I know, but it's the South. What can we tell you?
Well, you got to tell them to like and subscribe.
The producers tell us we're supposed to say, if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure that you like and subscribe, ring the bell. But what's most important to us is that you get out and explore.
Don't forget, check out my Rebel videos. We are less than 90 days out from the rally. I'm super excited. We are still trying to get some sponsorship and some funding to help push that through to the finish line. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to us for any kind of details, or if you know anyone that might be interested. And we will be providing a link so that you can follow along live once the rally starts. So keep an eye out for that.
Just hold on, just so you guys know, in case you haven't done a quick Google, the Rebel Rally is what she's talking about. It's a big deal. It's huge. And her and Jillian are going to win it.
Well,
You're going to win it.
we're going to do our very best and give you something to follow along and watch at the very least. So, I don't know. Like he said, get out and explore. See you later.
Next time.